Hello, hello. Hi there. Are you ready to plan for the end of retirement? If you saw my video yesterday, then you know that I was discussing the article by John Stoll that was in the Wall Street Journal recently that talked about the changing realities of retiring for many Americans. In that article, John references a Transamerica study of about 6,500 people, which showed that many people plan to retire after age 65, and about 13% of Americans don't expect to retire at all. So, yesterday I shared with you some of the leading causes of disability and some of the changing realities around retirement, but we didn't discuss a lot of the solutions that you may be able to implement for your retirement plan if you are forced to work a little bit longer, or if you just would prefer to work a little bit longer and retire at a later date. So, in this video, you're going to learn 3 tactics for building a financial plan when you expect to work longer. And I titled it How to Plan for the End of Retirement. So if you have questions about how to save a little bit more, or more importantly, if you have questions about your healthcare, don't miss this video. So if you want to get caught up on what we discussed yesterday, then go take a look at that video I did yesterday called The End of Retirement. There's some great information in that. But in this video, what we'll do is we'll talk about 3 tactics you can use in order to plan for your retirement if you're going to work a little bit longer. And if you have any questions about planning and you want to learn a little bit more about some of the most recent retirement changes, go check out GarciaSecureAct.com. So let's jump in here with one of the most important ways to plan your retirement, and that is to protect your income. If you're planning on working a little bit longer in retirement, then you definitely want to protect your income. You see, many people overlook the fact that their income is typically their greatest resource or their greatest asset. And if you are getting a little bit older or you plan on working longer, then you really want to make sure that your income is protected so that if you can't work because of an accident or an illness, then you have a replacement for that income in the form of a disability insurance policy. So your disability insurance policy can cover you for if you are unable to perform your job, or if you have a loss of income, depending on the type of policy that you have. So you can typically get that coverage, disability insurance policy, either through your employer or through your private policy that you place yourself. It tends to be that the individual contracts are better than the group policies that you can get through your company, because an individual contract can be tailored to your specific needs, versus when you have an employer contract, something from your company, it tends to be watered down so that it can fit the needs of many people. So the great thing about an individual contract is that it can allow you to get coverage specific to your occupation. And this is going to be the definition of disability. It's so important for you if you're a specialist like a surgeon or a consultant or somebody who only has one discipline. That term is going to be very critical for your disability insurance policy, because it's going to dictate when and how you can get paid. You also want to look for a partial benefit. A partial disability benefit is going to pay you out if you have a loss of income, and that's going to vary based on the type of policy that you have. But what's great about it is that if you have the ability to go back to work, but you can't earn the same amount because of your disability, then you may be able to collect a partial benefit to effectively make up for that loss of income that you have. The next thing that you can look for in that disability policy is a recovery benefit. Your recovery benefit is there to help you out if you have a loss of income and you're working to get back to your normal earning potential. This will give you a longer path to do so, and it can offer you a greater benefit than what you could get in most cases with an individual, an employer policy. So your disability income coverage is going to be critical if you're going to be working longer. I've seen now some policies will take you out to age 67. You really want to go through your employer coverage if you have that. Oftentimes there's going to be a cap on that coverage as well. And finally, when you collect those benefits, often they're going to be taxed as ordinary income. So if you're only getting 60% of your income and then it's taxed as ordinary income, then you may be forced to take some withdrawals out of that retirement portfolio, which could be less than ideal. So the first thing that you can do to plan for a longer retirement is to protect your income using a disability insurance policy. Now, I told you before that there are some changes to the retirement law that went into effect in December of last year. And if you haven't updated your retirement plan, you want to make sure that you do so. So go and check out GarciaSecureAct.com, where I've put together a free training for you. It's a resource that you can use in order to look over your retirement plan and make sure that it's current with the current law. That's going to be a great resource for you if you are recently retired or getting ready to retire this year. So the next thing that you can do to plan for a longer career is going to be to expect to use Medicare at age 65. Many people are going to be forced to apply for Medicare at age 65, even if they currently have health benefits through their employer. And that is going to vary based on the size of your employer. The best thing that you could do is to speak with your employer benefits representative before you have to file for your Medicare coverage. But Medicare is going to send you out a letter to apply for your coverage about 3 months or 4 months before your 65th birthday. And if you've already applied for your Social Security benefits, you may already be enrolled in Medicare. So there are a couple different variables there that you want to take into consideration before you turn age 65. But what I've seen most common is that folks will have to apply for Medicare, enroll in Medicare Part A, and then Medicare Part B is covered by their employer coverage. That is going to vary kind of based on your individual circumstance, but it's something that you want to consider and look at, because you might find that you could save a couple $100s per month in premiums that could be used for saving for your retirement. Or you might find yourself in a position where your spouse needs to go and get coverage on their own because now they were on your policy, but now because you're on Medicare, they no longer get coverage. So look at your Medicare options there. You have a 7-month window around your 65th birthday when you can enroll. So you have some time, but you definitely want to coordinate that well so that you don't have any lapse in coverage and you always have the medical coverage that you need. So are you finding this helpful? Is this good information that you haven't found somewhere else? Well, I hope that it is entertaining and at least it's a little helpful. And if it is, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up or a comment below and just let me know that you're getting some value from this. And that would be meaningful to me. So the final thing that you could do here for planning a longer career or planning around the end of retirement is to look at your Social Security benefit options. Your Social Security benefit options are your Social Security benefits are going to vary based on the age that you file. And so you want to look at all options that are on the table. You first become eligible to receive your Social Security benefits at age 62. Now, that's the earliest that you could file, but that doesn't mean you have to file at age 62. It's just an option for you on the table. But at age 65, what's great is that you no longer have to go through something called the earnings test. So your benefits that you receive are no longer subject to an earnings test. That earnings test is going to look at your earned income and your Social Security benefits, and you might find that your Social Security benefits are withheld because you're earning too much before age 65. At age 65, you no longer have to worry about that because now if you file for benefits, they're no longer subject to that earnings test. So you want to look at your filing options. Many people don't realize that their full retirement age, the age that they can collect 100% of their retirement benefits, is actually age 66 for many people. In fact, many people believe that their full retirement age is age 65, and as a result of that, they don't collect 100% of the benefit that they've paid for. So your full retirement age is going to be critical for you collecting your full benefit that you paid for with your tax dollars, and that is the starting point for delaying benefits. At any point that you delay after your full retirement age, you're actually going to collect more than 100% of your benefit, or you could collect more than 100% of your benefit. In fact, if you waited until age 70, guess how much you could collect? You could collect 132% of your primary insurance amount. And that can be very beneficial for you if you're catching up on your retirement savings, or if you're looking for some guaranteed income to cover your essential expenses like your mortgage and your insurance. So those are a couple different options for you. You know, you want to consider the pros and cons of potentially having more guaranteed income or maybe paying more in taxes. There's a lot of considerations that will go into your filing age, not just for you, but I would encourage you to factor in your spouse and their options that are on the table and the unique circumstances around that, because that'll help you make an educated decision for you and for your family. So is this helpful for you? Have you found good value out of the time that you've invested? Well, I've really appreciated you following along here. And if you did get value, leave me a comment in the comments below, or consider subscribing. If you hit that little bell icon, you'll actually be notified when I am on doing these live videos. So hopefully you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks.